I'll just paint and paint and paint until my hand gets bored. I'm Miko, aka MK Designs, and I'm a graphic designer and illustrator. I come from a very creative household, and fashion and illustrations were always around because my dad used to do photography a lot, and a lot of my artwork is inspired by that experience. This is where it all started. This was inspired by the fashion illustration movement that was going on during the 60s, which was inspired a lot by Art Deco styles. I like to use a lot of felts. These felts I was using were like watercolor based, and some of them were alcohol based. If they're water based, they don't come through like this. The alcohol based ones tend to do that. One thing that really sticks out in my work is that I like to go nuts with the colors. You add a bit of orange, just a little bit of orange. Put that right here underneath her eye, and right there. Changes the whole thing. The psychedelic themes and the strong, bold characters that I draw, a lot of it comes from my dreamscapes, and a lot of it comes from my experiences being in like the rave scene, nightlife. The piece I'm working on right here started with a vivid dream that has now become something that I'm constantly painting. Like, it's this long purple squiggly line, and then I've given it like stripes. Sometimes I might add some, like in this piece I've added a face. I might add a random body part like an eye or a heart or lungs or something. I want it to represent a lifeline and how absolutely not so linear life is. Now this piece is slightly ancient and probably will get sold in the auction one day when I become a famous artist. And I spent 7 to 8 days on this. And I purposefully would stop and start. With watercolor, once you put it down, that's it. You can't smudge it, and so you gotta be real prepared, whatever you're doing. This is a collage of all the trans people that inspire me, including myself down there at the bottom. My world is very much wrapped around understanding my expression and experience as a trans person, and art helps that a lot. This piece is by far my favorite piece, and I will be recreating this. And it says, gender non-conforming is my ideal peace of mind. Very simple, but yummy piece. It's a bit emotional because I was going through it when I was making this work. The painful parts of the creative process fuels me the most because a lot of my artwork is inspired by a lot of the darkest times in my life, or times in my life where I have been the most stressed is when some of my best work has come out. Like, I created a collection called Alt Gal. It was inspired by all the times that I got picked on for dressing different or trying out new styles. Every character I drew was an accumulation of that emotion. So there'd be a lot of like dark, rich colors, heavy saturation. Not to say that I don't draw amazing stuff when I'm in a good mood, but you know, there's something about that energy, and there's so much of it that I can just mess around with and engage with it in a more creative and positive manner. How do I feel? This is how I feel. I feel angry, lost, numb, confused, ashamed. But it all is a part of me, and I respect every bit of the emotions. But this is when I start to really get confident in my style. This is me playing around with watercolors. I've always been an admirer of animation and character concept art and things like that. Being an anime watcher as well myself, I'm a child of Cowboy Bebop, so I could never not credit anime in any of this. Especially because most of the animes I watched, they did a better job of drawing black people than a lot of the Western cartoons I was watching. In the field that I work in, there are a lot of artists that will make excuses as to why they have not created black characters in their work, or they haven't gone out of their way. And as someone that studied color theory, I could tell you free of charge that they're actively avoiding it on purpose. Black graphic designers and illustrators who are making sure that this work is out there, we do meet a lot of speed bumps because you have people that will shadow ban our work, that will put certain types of creators before us. But it's really important that I create Black characters, especially because there are still these stereotypes around this idea that we as Black alternative people do not want to engage with things like rock and goth and then, you know, these abstract ideas that kind of do gatekeepers out a little bit because we're believed to be not invited. So we create our own spaces, and by doing that, I can provide that space for upcoming artists. Existing as a creative is pretty daunting because, you know, most people that come up to you tell you they like their work, yeah, they're just trying to sound cool because it sounds cool to sound cool now. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll be like, oh, I love your work, it's so abstract, it's so oh, you can just say it's nice, you know? If you don't have a genuine reason, it's okay. You can just say it's nice. But yeah, this is the most updated like art style I've got going. Authenticity is what makes you creative, first and foremost. You've got to be as authentic as humanly possible. There's a lot of creatives that are claiming that they're creators, but they're just samplers. There's nothing wrong with sampling, but a true creative, we're not pouring half of the other person's idea in and going, yeah, that's mine. Because, you know, you can see who inspires me, but you can see that it's mine, you know? Like everyone wants to be a fashion guy, or they want to be the artistic guy in the corner, but most of us genuine artistic creators, we was getting picked on. We was getting bullied. No one was trying to hear what we were saying. Like, you see how many people now that are obsessed with Tyler, the Creator? They was bullying us for that at one point. They was bullying us for the anime. They was bullying us for all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I would say being a creative is something. Something like a Christopher Nolan film. Starts off kind of peaceful, and then out of nowhere they just switch the storyline, and then you're just caught in this whirlwind of when is the equilibrium gonna come in. Then you have like a small cathartic window that gets trampled on, but then other than that, it's great, you know, fab, love it. But when I'm around other creatives who get it, no one else is in the room but me and that person. The right collaboration would elevate my work to the moon and back, because it's all about the energy and the intentions. Because a lot of the time when I'm creating, I'm thinking about my intentions, like why am I creating this piece? What is my reasons for wanting to create this piece? Who am I creating it for? Is there a background message? You know, things of that nature. So I would like to do something revolutionary, like change the game in some kind of way, like switch it up, make something brand new. Like, even if it's something that's already been done before, like reinvent the wheel a little bit, who knows, but I'm down for that. I'm down for that for sure. Blkuzz matters for creatives because there's something about that communal effect that can heighten the flow of what you create. And maybe you might try new things that you didn't even think you would try before and realize that your talent is way more expansive than meets the eye. Like when I create, I'm thinking about the political, the artistic, and the social implications of it all. I'm thinking about how does this apply to the world I live in. My dream project will be one where it pushes people to have their own authentic opinion, and my dream collaborator will be someone that enjoys applying that kind of pressure. I want to expose how unintentionally, without even realizing how unintentionally wicked people can be when it comes to art. Because they will tell you, oh my God, I love it, it's so nice, yeah, that's amazing, oh my God, I'll buy that, yeah, yeah. My dream project is to expose fake supporters. My dream project is exposés. That is something that AI could never replicate. I tell you that free of charge.